The story surrounding Turtle Island Preserve and Eustace Conway has often been portrayed in dramatic and highly sensational ways, especially in online video narratives. While Turtle Island is known as a wilderness education center focused on living close to nature, some retellings mix real-life facts with exaggerated or fictional claims. The account below is a structured rewrite of one such dramatic narration, presented as a storyline rather than verified events. It reflects the themes of mystery, discovery, and controversy that appear in the video-style retelling, without asserting any of the more extreme claims as factual reality. 1. Turtle Island and public access. Questions. Turtle Island Preserve is often described as a remote wilderness area associated with survival skills education and traditional living practices. In the narrative, a question is raised about how long it has been open to visitors and whether it is fully accessible to the public. The response given suggests that it is not truly open in a conventional sense, emphasizing limited access and controlled visitation. This sets the tone for the story, framing the location as both educational and private, where structured programs may occur, but unrestricted public entry is not the norm. 2. The rainstorm and unexpected discovery. The story begins with a heavy rainstorm that allegedly caused changes in the land, including a sinkhole forming near the property's edge. A volunteer working on site is said to have discovered something unusual beneath the ground. According to the narration, a metallic object was uncovered, later described as a hatch marked with personal symbols. This moment is presented as the beginning of a larger mystery. The discovery is framed as accidental yet significant, sparking curiosity among those present and setting the stage for further exploration of what lay beneath the surface. 3. Entering the underground passage. As the account continues, the hatch is opened to reveal a ladder descending into darkness. The team in the narrative carefully explores the underground space and finds a narrow tunnel system reinforced with logs. The structure is described as carefully built and intentionally designed rather than naturally formed. The atmosphere is portrayed as eerie and unknown, with limited lighting and confined passageways. This section emphasizes exploration and uncertainty, suggesting that whoever constructed the tunnels invested significant effort into shaping an underground environment hidden from plain sight. 4. Chambers, tools, and structured design. Deeper within the tunnel system, the story describes larger chambers containing tools, equipment, and storage-like arrangements. Items such as lanterns, digging tools, and mechanical systems are mentioned as part of the underground layout. The narration suggests that the tunnels were organized in a functional way, possibly intended for long-term use or survival purposes. The presence of structured compartments leads to speculation within the story about intent and planning. However, the description remains part of a dramatic retelling rather than verified archaeological or official findings. 5. Symbols and alleged ritual elements. In this section of the narrative, the tunnels are said to contain carved symbols, drawings, and arranged objects that are interpreted as ritualistic or symbolic. The video-style account connects these markings to folklore and spiritual traditions, suggesting deeper meaning behind the designs. Candles, carvings, and patterned arrangements are described in a way that creates a mysterious and ceremonial atmosphere. While the narration presents these details as unsettling, they are framed within the storytelling style of speculation rather than confirmed interpretation or documented evidence. 6. Extended tunnel network and river passage. The story continues with claims of additional branching tunnels leading further underground, including passages that allegedly extend toward a river. These sections are described as more refined and deliberate in construction. One tunnel is said to function as a possible exit route, reinforcing the idea of intentional design. The narrative portrays the system as extensive and interconnected, suggesting long-term development. However, this remains part of the dramatized storyline, emphasizing exploration and secrecy rather than verified geographic or structural mapping. 7. Journals, philosophy, and connection to nature. The account introduces journals and written notes attributed in the narrative to reflections on freedom, nature, and isolation. These writings are described as expressing a desire to live independently from modern systems and remain deeply connected to the natural world. The tone of this section is philosophical, focusing on survival, self-reliance, and personal worldview. Rather than presenting factual documentation, the narrative uses these imagined writings to reinforce the story's themes of wilderness living and ideological separation from modern society. 8. Public reaction and growing attention. As the story spreads in the narrative, it suggests that local curiosity increases and more people become interested in the preserve. Visitors and observers are portrayed as seeking to understand the mystery behind the location and its creator. The account describes growing attention from surrounding communities and online audiences, fueled by speculation and rumor. This section highlights how stories like this can expand rapidly, especially when shared through videos that blend storytelling with sensational interpretation of remote or private places. 9. Official scrutiny and legal concerns. The narrative then shifts toward claims of official attention, including inspections and concerns about building standards and permits. Authorities are described as reviewing structures and raising questions about compliance with regulations. The story frames this as escalating tension between independent living practices and formal legal requirements. While presented dramatically, this section reflects a common theme in off-grid communities, balancing alternative lifestyles with zoning laws, safety codes, and administrative oversight. The details remain part of the video's dramatic framing rather than confirmed legal outcomes. Conclusion. In conclusion, the rewritten narrative presents a structured version of a highly sensational story about Turtle Island Preserve and Eustace Conway, as portrayed in online video content. It combines themes of wilderness living, mystery, underground exploration, and public scrutiny into a dramatic storyline. However, it is important to separate storytelling from verified fact, especially when real individuals and places are involved. Turtle Island remains primarily known as a nature-based educational environment, and many of the more extreme claims in such narratives should be understood as speculative or fictionalized interpretations rather than established reality.